Okay, hi brothers and sisters. Here for just a quick little video. I think we'll pin this to 8th day dawning. We're gonna look at, where is it? It is 2 Peter 2:1. It says, "But there were also false prophets among the people, just as there will be false teachers among you. They will secretly," right? This was done secretly, "introduce destructive heresies, even denying" who? The sovereign Lord. Now, we understand here who bought them, bringing swift destruction on themselves. All right. Now, understand God's time frame works very differently than our own. We understand this. And in the Old Testament, we see them actually turning everything upside down. And I wasn't going to do this, but I guess I am. We're going to go to Isaiah 29, I believe, is where it's found. I'll take my pen out of there. Isaiah 29. Excuse me. I'll get it. Maybe I'll get it. Maybe I won't get it. Okay, so Isaiah 29 was... Now, if I can find the verse in it. Isaiah 29. The verse says... Let me see. It's the verse where... Okay, 16. So it's Isaiah 29, verse 16. "Surely your turning of things upside down shall be esteemed as the potter's clay. For shall the work, the creation, man, say of her, the one that gave life to it, that made it, she made me not." Is that what he's going to say? That's what he's been saying to her. She made me not. She didn't give life to me. Father gave life to everything. And we know that that led to the empowerment of men. This was the turning of everything upside down that is spoken of in this verse. All right? For those who thinks women are turning it upside down. No, no, no. We're turning it back upright where it belongs. Right? This was in the Old Testament. And it's in the context of the drunken priest spewing wine on the table, coming out as vomit. They put the wine on. That's the admixture of doctrine, right? That we've been discussing. Shall she made me not, or shall the thing framed say of her that framed it? Who forms the body in the womb? It is woman, it is not father. But they tell us that there's no such thing as mother. There's only father and his children. And they do say that she has not framed it. She has no understanding. And her name is wisdom. That's right. She, wisdom, formed all things, gave life to it. So that's what it's speaking of here. They'll want you to say, oh, the sovereign Lord is Jesus. No, the sovereign Lord in the Old Testament was identified as daughter Israel, the rejected stone and water. And it says, they will secretly introduce destructive heresies, and they did, even denying the sovereign Lord, daughter Israel, who bought them. How are you bought? How are you bought? With the truth. That's what it says. Now, I'm not exactly sure where it says it. Let me see. Is it James 1? You are bought with the truth. It may not say bought. Birth. It's James 1, I believe. Let me see if I can even get it up here. There we go. And I believe it was verse 18 again, but I might be wrong. Okay. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given to him. You're not asking God. You're asking your idol. And you were not to follow another. You were to follow the way of God. And somewhere you lost your way and you started going, man, I just got to be washed in blood. That's it. No, you were to follow the way of God. Where is it? Let me see here if we can get to it. Right here. Of her, not his. Go look the words up. It's in parturition again, birth. Of her own will begat, gave life to us. That's right, birthed us. She, with the word of truth, that we should be a kind of first fruits of her creatures. And it tells us that she purchased us with the truth. Not with a lie, not with blood. She does not purchase with blood. I never ask any blood of you, ever. All I asked was you to follow my commandments. That's what I asked you to do. And you couldn't do that. You wrote a lie. Blood, 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 blood. That's what you wrote. So, back here when it says, they will secretly introduce destructive heresies, even denying the sovereign Lord who bought them with the truth, bringing swift destructions on themselves. Those who bow down to an idol. You were never to bow down to a male or a female. You were to bow down to the commandments of God and follow them, the way. That is the way. Many will follow in their depravity, and because of them, the way of truth will be, look at this word, defamed. That's right. The way of truth will be defamed. What was defamed and debased in the Old Testament? Zephaniah. We looked at that in the other video on Ruth Abbey. That's found Zephaniah 3. I will get them fame and glory in every land where they have been put to shame. And when you look the words up in Zephaniah 3:18, and you keep reading to where you hit these words defamed, it means defamed. I will get you fame and glory in every land where you were put to shame. Defamed. And when you keep looking at the devil, Satan, and it will bring in the word defamed, right? Defamed. He defamed. He accused us. And it's the Holy Spirit that he did this, which is represented as the sovereign Lord in this passage. Now, I didn't go in and look at the words. I just thought this was interesting because most got this so twisted in their mind because of the idol standing in Daniel 2 has been built up. We identified the New Testament as the feet that causes the idol to continue standing, which makes Babylon inaccessibly high. You get to the head by hitting the feet. That's what we come to understand. It says the pillars of heaven do shake. And that's why the pillars of heaven are shaken. And that's, in fact, to do with a lot, the angel there in Revelations 10, who is standing on the water and the earth. Water is also allegorical to the second heaven, taking back the word and the power. And when you get looking at the principality and power of the air, it's the harlot spirit ruling in the second heaven. Man exalts. He was never to exalt the harlot spirit, but that harlot spirit allows him to exalt himself on earth and play God. And so we get it all. Anyway, I just found this very fascinating, very interesting. I didn't go in because I just said it from memory. So there we go. They will bring swift destruction unto themselves. Just let's look at destruction right quick here. There's other words here that would be very interesting. 684. Destruction, ruin, loss, perishing, eternal ruin. This is feminine. This is a feminine noun. Because they refuse to pick themselves up from the feet of the idol. Cut off. That's cut off. What was cut off in circumcision? The foreskin. We found the foreskin represented a covenant with the harlot spirit. That's what we found. And that's why God, the true God, told Abraham that he would cut the foreskin off, and all men in his household also would have it removed as a symbol, as a covenant to the true, holy, righteous spirit in the land. And so he did so. You don't see him circumcised today. Nah, it's got nothing to do with women. Not a thing. And women, they even bring you in. You must circumcise your hearts. How about you get up from the feet of an idol and stop playing his harlot? And that's who he's in covenant with. That's who he counts on to exalt him and to help raise his lie in the land. You empower him to do such, when in fact they will secretly introduce destructive heresies, even denying the sovereign Lord who bought them. You were purchased with the truth a long time ago, and you turned from her ways. And that's the commandments. Deuteronomy 4. We've discussed it. Let's look at stealthily introduce, and then I'm going to leave. There's a lot here to look at. To introduce, to bring in secretly. I haven't been secretive about it. I've been at study in this for 5 years, and I've been showing you how we reach the conclusions that we've reached, and that what they tell us is a lie based on the facts in the Old Testament. Once we get a handle on the feminine that was denied her rightful place, and there are passages that you can hook that onto, because they do have to leave some of the truth in play, and I'm sure it must have hurt him to do it. To introduce, to bring in secretly from close beside, though I'm standing right beside you. She says, you wouldn't know God. Am I a God far off? Am I a God near? Well, yeah, she is a God far off because you don't know the truth. But she's standing right beside you. And we looked at that passage as well. To lead in aside, introduce surreptitiously, privily bring in. And they did. The men brought that in. It says the mighty men of old. What it means by mighty men, they were willing to actually shed blood to build Babylon, their kingdom, up. And that's why we end up with two covenants in view, one of blood, one of water. She sprung like water, and it says she will spring like water, and she is identified as the spirit that was rejected, and yet is she the wife or the spirit of the original covenant. When it means wife, it has not the idea of defilement in the bed. We looked at that. That is not God's idea of a marriage covenant. It's not. The idea of a marriage covenant was hearkening to the law of the righteous spirit, to the commandments, 10 commandments of the righteous spirit, who they turned on, denied, and built up a harlot spirit in the land that would bow to the idol, and they didn't have any problem shedding blood. They didn't have problem debasing their sisters, selling her off, murdering them, defaming them, taking their law, their commandments off of their tongue through accusations. And that's what we see going on, a lot of gnashing. And so we get the idea of the teeth gnashing. That's your arrows that they were shooting from a bow, their covenant. Baal was doing this to the daughters, the branches, as they went over the wall of David, because they were the key of David. And they also hold the gate. You won't get out through the gate. They're the key. You won't get out through the gate. Nope. You'll continue to die in Sheol. You're not going out through with a religious lie. Between your eyes, between your ears, right here, of man as Lord and God, and you must bow to that. That's why we're where we're at right now in the world. What's led to this entire mess in the land, actually, when you get studying the Old Testament, completely goes back to man, the first Adam, denying the covenant with her law, and debasing her and defaming her and taking away her rights under the law. And this is what has led to the mess. And from there he just constantly accused, and he gnashes, and eventually he removes the she right out from under the law. Oh gee! No parallel today though, is there? Oh my gosh, a parallel to the Old Testament going on and what's going on today. They're exact paralleling each other. They gnashed upon her to take the spirit of her covenant of the land, and they are attempting to do it again. Though, I do not think they're going to succeed. That's what I believe. I believe the women are actually going to uphold their covenant. So, there we go. How long is it? Oh, good. It's less than 15 minutes. So I guess I'll be going. Thanks for watching. May the Lord, the true Lord, bless you with an abundance of her waters, her truth, the truth that flows from heaven, hopefully, from the Spirit into your spirit. And I hope y'all have a really nice day. And thanks for watching.